Hello friends, today we are going to talk about the game Granny, Chapter 2. This game is a sequel to the famous Granny game, in which you get into an abandoned house and try to get out before you get caught by a crazy granny. So, let's start with the mechanics of the game. You start the game in a room that contains various items that can help you get out of the house. You need to find a way to get out of the room and keep moving through the level to find your way out. During the game you will need to explore the different rooms of the house, looking for keys and other items to open doors and move forward. You have to be careful, because Granny can constantly hear you and tries to catch you. One of the interesting aspects of the game is the use of sound. Granny is very sensitive to sounds, so you must be quiet and careful so she doesn't hear you and catch you. Also, there are many traps and hazards in the game, such as traps and mouse traps that can kill you if you step on them. You have to be careful and attentive not to fall into these traps. There are also many bonuses in the game to help you overcome obstacles and increase your score. For example, you can find pliers to help open locked doors or hack into a gas stove to create a distracting noise. Another important aspect of the game is the choice of difficulty level. You can choose the difficulty level that works best for you. If you are a beginner, you can start with an easy difficulty level to better understand the mechanics of the game, and then move on to more difficult levels. Now let's talk about the game's main antagonist, Granny. This is that scary Granny, who will try to kill you if you are in her field of vision. Players must be careful and avoid noisy activities so as not to attract her attention. But it's not all that easy, because Granny is not the only opponent in the game. Players must overcome many traps that can lead to death. Some of these traps include pits, falling ceilings, and other dangers. To survive the game, players need to collect various items and tools that can help them overcome obstacles and protect themselves from Grandma. For example, players can find keys that open doors and allow them to advance further, or use traps to slow down Granny. One of the innovations in the game Granny, Chapter 2 is the appearance of other characters that can help or hinder the player. Some characters can give valuable clues to the player and others will try to kill him. Also, there are a lot of bonuses in the game that will help the player to overcome the obstacles and increase his score.
Do you want to play hide and seek?
For example, the player can find magnets that attract coins to him or use shields that protect him from traps. Players can also compete with each other for the highest score. They can compare their results with those of other players on the leaderboard and try to reach the top places. All in all, Granny Chapter 2 is an addictive game that will give you many hours of exciting gameplay. With fascinating mechanics, interesting plot and unexpected twists and turns, this game will definitely not leave you indifferent. If you like horror and horror movies, Granny Chapter 2 will definitely become your favorite game. This time you need to get away from Granny's and Grandpa's house that are trying to catch you and eat your flesh. But be careful, the game is much harder than the previous one. Granny Chapter 2 has a lot of new mechanics that make the game even more exciting. Now Granny has a new psychic grandpa, who also wants to catch you and eat your flesh.
I see you.
Also, there are new rooms and traps that won't let you easily get out of the house, but it is not so bad, because you have an opportunity to learn how to get away from Grandma and Grandpa. You can climb under beds and into closets to hide from them, and you can use items you find in the house to distract the grandparents. If you find yourself caught, you won't have the most pleasant end. Grandma and Grandpa will not spare you and will do everything possible to reap your flesh. But don't despair, you can restart the game and try again. But don't forget that Granny Chapter 2 is for those who love horror and brutal scenes. If you don't like that kind of content, then maybe this game isn't for you.
I see you.
However, if you are ready for the challenge and want to plunge into the world of horror, then Granny Chapter 2 is exactly what you need.